From clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6 p.m.
Right now on News 6 at 6, One Blood, a major blood donation center hit by a cyber attack.
Tonight, it's asking the more than 250 hospitals it serves to activate their critical blood shortage protocols.
We're working with local, federal, and state agencies who are assisting us to, get this situation under control.
Coming up, we're taking a closer look at how the hack is impacting donors and patients.
Plus, News 6 investigating rideshare drivers attaching bike racks to their cars.
Avid cyclists or scammers?
Because they don't want to pay the tolls.
They don't want to pay tolls?
They don't want to pay tolls.
Coming up, we'll show you how some drivers might be skirting the tolls and why it's you, the customer, who's paying the price.
But we begin with new video just into our newsroom showing the exact moment an Ocala laundromat exploded in a powerful blast. Newly released 911 calls detail the panic that immediately followed.
I was in the middle of doing something and I just heard this massive explosion. Our entire building just shook.
And incredibly, 4 people walked away from this alive. Thanks for joining us. I'm Justin Mormouth, in for Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell, in for Ginger Gadsden tonight. 2 people did have to go to the hospital, but were both released hours later. 2 others refused treatment. And we brought this to you as breaking news last night during News 6 at 11. It happened along Northeast 25th Avenue at the Classic Laundromat and Dry Cleaner. News 6's Darrell Baker is there with a closer look at that surveillance video.
And be among the first to get updates on this story and get alerts by downloading the News 6 app. It is free in your app store. Just search WKMG. Developing now, a blood donation nonprofit that serves hundreds of hospitals in the southeastern U.S., including Florida, has been hit by a ransomware attack. One Blood says it remains operational, meaning it can still collect, test, and distribute blood. But they say it's happening at a significantly reduced capacity. News 6 Morning's anchor, Bridget Ellison, spoke with One Blood today about the hack.
And when you say the reduced capacity, is that because of the cybersecurity issue? Is there something that is locked up that you can't get information from?
We switched to manual processes. So typically, we would have been maybe registering donors on a tablet. We've moved to using the paper forms like we used to use before we used the tablet. Our printing of labels for blood products has become a manual process. So, things that we were doing before that were quicker to do using the computer system have now moved to a manual process.
And One Blood says moving to that manual process can impact the availability of blood products, so blood centers across the country are helping them out. One Blood also stressing that donations continue to be needed. You can make an appointment right now at oneblood.org.
Tonight, News 6 investigates a puzzling situation happening in Central Florida. Rideshare drivers working for Uber and Lyft are using bike racks to block their license plates. State officials say it is illegal for rideshare drivers to obscure their license plates, but we found Uber and Lyft drivers picking up passengers with bike racks, partially or completely blocking the tag numbers.
News 6 investigator Mike DeForest shows us why it may be happening.
I've never noticed that before, but now every time I get an Uber or Lyft, I'm going to be looking for one of those.
They tell you in the app when you call for an Uber or you call for a Lyft, it always says before you get in the vehicle, make sure the license plate is the correct license plate to match up. But if you can't see the license plate because so that's another piece of that
I'm just
story.
looking for the right make of car, model, and the right color, and then I'm good. Then I get in. I've never looked at a license plate. I guess I'm doing the wrong thing.
We don't condone that, Lisa.
I know.
We don't want to see you get it.
Live and learn. I know better now. I'll do better.
Well, thank you, Mike. Well, tomorrow, attorneys for a woman accused of leaving her kids behind in a car that later caught fire will try to get her case thrown out. This happened in June of last year in the parking lot of the Oviedo Mall. Oviedo police say Alicia Moore was shoplifting at the Dillards at the time. Thankfully, other shoppers noticed the fire, rescued the kids who ended up with minor injuries. Moore is facing charges including child neglect and arson. The hearing to have this case dismissed is set for tomorrow afternoon.
A dog who Orange County investigators say was run over and dragged by the car he was dumped out of is set to have his leg amputated tomorrow. Hobbs here was found in bad shape along with another dog in the Holden Heights area in Orange County about 2 weeks ago. The rescue that took him in, called Forever Bully Love Rescue, says in addition to cuts that required staples, he suffered bad nerve damage in his leg, which is why he needs the amputation. The surgery will cost just over $3,000. The rescue is collecting donations. You can learn more at clickorlando.com. Orange County Sheriff's Office says they are investigating this. We checked in with them today. They tell us they do not have any updates.
Sweet Hobbs. Well, we still have a lot more coming up on News 6 at 6.
But first, News 6's Molly Reed is going to be in Flagler County with this story.
Did you know sea turtles are apparently pretty good climbers? That's something the FWC in Flagler County here have unfortunately found out with these beach renourishment projects going on. I'm Molly Reed. Coming up, I'll tell you what they're doing to protect the turtles and how you can help.
We are pinpointing just a few downpours, a couple of rumbles of thunder out there. A lot of us, though, are dry this evening. Will initially increase the storm chance. We'll talk about where those storms are headed and, of course, an update on the tropics in a few minutes.
You're watching News 6 at 6, getting results for Winter Park, Buffalo, and all of Central Florida. Stay with us.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health, helping the communities we serve to feel whole.
Now you can get local news at 6:30.
With our all-new streaming newscast, News 6 at 6:30.
Join me and Justin Wormuth for the latest on what's happening in our community and your neighborhood at a time designed to work for your schedule wherever you are.
News 6 at 6:30, now streaming on clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and our News 6 app.
Search WKMG in your Apple or Google Play Store to install the News 6 app on your phone or search News 6 on your smart TV. Stream News 6 whenever you want. Sponsored by T-Mobile. Watch news, weather, and special investigations on your time. You can even tune in to your favorite News 6 podcast. Download News 6 Plus to your smart TV now.
Now at 6, much-needed beach renourishment projects in Flagler County clashing with sea turtle nesting season.
The county says wayward turtles have been crawling up the dunes. Now they're trying to find solutions to stop them. News 6's Molly Reed is in Flagler County with a closer look at the issue. I didn't know they could climb so well.
Me either, but yeah. It's probably my favorite animal, sea turtle.
Oh, that's
All it
nice.
takes, though, is you go see them at like an turtle hospital or something. You get up close with them, and
they are beautiful.
They're just the cutest, those babies too. So
gotta protect them along our coast.
Just turn around, little guys. Just turn around, go where you're supposed to. You got enough issues in the water. So, well, let's get over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas now for a look at that pinpoint accurate forecast. We had some showers, a few storms popping up. How are we looking right now?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good as a whole. We'll watch for more of these things pop up over the next hour or so. East Coast sea breeze right along the I-4 corridor now. Just a couple of things popping up just south of us in Deltona, closer to Sanford, right on I-4. As you're heading from Sanford, maybe going into Altamont Springs, just heads up, little downpour there. No lightning associated with that one just yet. Just to the west of the Orlando Metro, closing in on the east side of Ocoee, we have a couple of downpours as well. And then back towards the I-75 corridor. These are slow movers again. I'll put on the I'll put a lapse on this for you so you can see where these things are going. And these are really just meandering, hardly moving at all. So they'll put down a little bit of rain and then fizzle out and push further to the west. You see where we do have a ton of lightning. I'll zoom up. There's a bigger cold front up towards the Florida-Georgia line. It's not coming here, but nonetheless, it is sparking a ton of thunderstorm activity further to our north. For us locally, we will watch these all pass to the south and west by 7, 8 o'clock tonight. There's 8 o'clock, just a few lingering storms on the western side of Polk County. Then tomorrow we'll start things off very similar like we saw today. Lots of sunshine, a few pop-up clouds, and then eventually we'll try to get in on the storm chances again. That's 1 o'clock on your Thursday afternoon. And then once we get into the evening, there's 5 again. East Coast sea breeze dominant again. So we're going to be on the drier side along the I-95 corridor. Stop me if you heard that one before. That's going to be the theme going forward for the next couple of days. There's 8 o'clock on your Thursday evening. Tomorrow night, some rocking storms again inland, I-4 toward I-75. So we were watching that as well. Beautifully blue skies out there at the port. Live look with our Launch Credit Union camera. Temperatures right now into the mid-80s. Lots of sunshine. You can clearly see that there. The breeze at about 10 miles an hour. We're at 90 degrees in New Smyrna Beach, Kissimmee. We are at 89, 88 for us in Orlando. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency? You ought to call Strata.
We're back to the mid-90s in Bithlo, 94 in DeLand and Deltona, 92 for us in Daytona Beach. We'll be heading back to the mid-90s over the next couple of days. On to the tropics. There's certainly a little bit more of the activity here. The reds are popping back up. That just means that we have more increased thunderstorm activity. This is still not organized by any means, and it's still likely going to take its time to organize, thankfully. As a result, though, this may get bullied by the Bermuda High a little bit more. We told you that a weaker storm, a longer one to consolidate, would have the opportunity to go west a little bit. So here's the timeline in blue, Saturday, Sunday. It's likely going to be around Florida. So we're looking for increased rain chances at the very least on Sunday. Now, this is the European model, and it has done a significant shift back to the west for those that like to follow these things. And it's also starting to pick up on this might get stuck in between those two systems I just showed you, and it might sit there for a little bit. Certainly a solution to consider there as we continue to watch this thing going forward. Hurricane hunters are going to start to get up in this thing as we get into Friday, so we're going to get better data on the system itself. We'll keep you posted. 50% shot on Thursday, 50% shot as well on Friday. Should mention that system is likely going to be weak. It's just the rain that we're going to have to be watching out for, guys.
Thank you, Jonathan. Tonight online on News 6 at 6:30, a Central Florida town preparing for a special election after the entire town council resigned.
Coming up, a closer look at the law that was passed just before all those leaders left.
And Universal is spilling brand new details about its Harry Potter-themed land opening at Epic Universe. We have the scoop at 6:30. Join us live at clickorlando.com, YouTube, and the free News 6 Plus Smart TV app. Sports Director Jamie Say here now. Florida Gators get to work.
Yeah, the football team kicked off practice this morning. They really kicked off the countdown to the season, right? Yeah, in 1 month, Graham Mertz is going to lead the Gators against Miami, and nobody's happier that Mertz is back under center than his under-fire head coach. Billy Napier on the Gators quarterback next.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get you the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Hear it? The alumni, I can hear them now. It's great to be a Florida Gator. I can hear the chants come from the swamp.
This is like the most wonderful time of the year because no games have been played. There's just the anticipation. Nobody's disappointed.
Optimistic.
Yeah, everybody's optimistic. I'm not sure if Gator Nation is super optimistic. I think there are members who are optimistic, and there are members who are not optimistic. But the Florida Gators do kick off the season on August 31st against Miami. The on-field work began this morning in Gainesville. Today, practice number 1 for the Gators. It's the third fall camp under head coach Billy Napier, and he said yesterday that this will be the most competitive camp he's had. Edgewater High School has reason to be really proud today. This 22-year-old alum made his Olympic debut today, and it was a smashing success. We first featured boxer Amari Jones a couple of years ago as a Sonic Prep Player of the Week. Well, today he won his first fight in Paris by unanimous decision. Amari, one of 4 boxers for Team USA. He advances to the quarters. His next bout is on Saturday. Other results today, U.S. men's basketball team, no trouble with South Sudan. U.S. women's soccer tops Australia 2-1 to secure first place in Group B. And American swimmer Katie Ledecky cruises to victory in the 1,500-meter freestyle. It's her 8th career goal, and it's her 12th Olympic medal overall to tie the women's record. And she says she's like in her late 20s. She's 27. Yeah. The next Summer Olympics is in Los Angeles, and she says she's not ready to retire after these games, so she might keep adding to her medal count.
27 is pretty old, you know.
And 1,500 meters is also really far.
It's really far.
I get tired watching them. I'm like, golly, brutal. It's going to end eventually. I don't know. But thank you, Jamie. And you can catch more local news on the News 6 Plus Smart TV app. It's coming at you next.
It's available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. You can also watch it on clickorlando.com and on our News 6 YouTube channel.
Breaking news, traffic. When you need to know what's going on in your neighborhood, trust Sky 6 to get the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.